Alright, so I've been out here in the garden. I've been cleaning up. I've been hoeing, grass and weeds that are trying to pop up here and there. And raking up old roots, because there were a lot of roots from like the trees, grass, and weeds that needed to be cleared up, because a lot of the weeds and grass here will grow back just from any little bit of root. So I've been trying to rake up as much of the roots as I can, and any other sticks or debris that I find from where we tilled the backyard. And I've been laying down more ground cover between the rows. I think that I found a bunch of marigolds that are coming back from seed from marigolds that I grew. I had started them from seed last year and grew them in my in-ground beds last year, because I did have a few in-ground beds in different places. They weren't very big and didn't grow a lot, but so I just gonna show you what I've been doing and show you these awesome baby marigolds that now I'm like, okay, I want to like pull these up and put them in pots or transplant them elsewhere. I have my rows where I'm gonna grow squash and tomatoes, and I'm getting ready to fix up my row for my cucumber seeds, so I'm probably just gonna transplant them in those rows so that they can grow as companion plants with those crops. This is my gardening assistant, Brooklyn. She's a mole hunter and she likes to dig holes. I have to run her away from my beds that I have stuff planted in already, because she'll try to dig them up. And that's why I want to, get the gate to keep her out of here, and also to keep her from being excused in my garden, because I'm not interested in dog fertilizer. So let me show you first what I've been doing. So you can see I have the 3 rows of ground cover. I'll take you over here. These are the rattlesnake pole beans that I have planted along the garden fence, and they're doing pretty well. I gave them a good water because it's been hot and dry. Well, hot and humid, but no rain. So I went ahead and watered those. You can see that I have some weeding to do, little weeds popping up, and I go around and pull them pretty much every time I'm out here to try to keep up with them. But if you look closely, like this first one on the end is a newer one that germinated a little bit after the taller ones. But like here's another one that looks like it germinated but came out of the ground. So I almost it's just germinating. I don't want to mess with it too much. But there's one I think that my dog stepped on. Thank you, Brooklyn. Survival of the fittest with her. There's another one that you can see is just popping out. And then I have my glove on. Let me see. Just because I don't want to get yuckies on my hands. See, that grass is like right next to my darn where my plant's coming out. And that's not even grass, I don't think. I think that is a spiderwort trying to grow. Yeah, it's spiderwort. Those are the weeds that have the pretty purple flowers, but they'll take over. Let me see. I'm going to throw that over there for now. But yeah, these are my rattlesnake pole beans. This is the top of the... Oh, let me see if I can show you. Sorry. Where's it at? This right here is the top piece of that pipe that I dug up. I don't know what used to be here, but that's it. Rusty pipe. In this row, I've planted 4 different kinds of squash. That's the one that I planted last week in the dark. Look, see? Get out, get out, get out, get out. I think she's interested because I watered it. But look, when she walks on them, like that one's laying down. So in this row, planted 4 different kinds of squash. She has dug holes here a couple times, and I've pushed the dirt back over. So I'm praying for the best for the squash. If anything, I'll replant. I moved all my containers over here into one place, because as I was making my rows, I'm trying to make them in line with this side of the gate So you can see I have the bamboo stakes marking the beginning of these rows. And then the row that has the 2 PVC pipes and the 2 redwood, not cedar, it's redwood stakes. That's gonna be where I plant my tomatoes. So I'm planning on doing the Florida weave. PVC seems kind of flimsy, but I've grown cucumbers with these same PVC pipes before. And when I had these 2 PVC pipes in a different part of my garden, they survived like at least three different hurricanes and tropical storms and nor'easters and all that good stuff. So if they lean with the weight of the tomatoes, then I can add a couple T-posts or something later on to help strengthen them, but I think they'll be fine. So I'm going to do the Florida weave. Once I get to that point with the tomatoes, I'll show you how I do that. So I just have made the bed and just left it as is because my tomato starts aren't ready to transplant yet. They're about, I'd say, 4 inches tall or so, but their roots need to develop a little bit more, and I'm still in the process of hardening them off from being started inside. So after I lay each row of landscape fabric, I go through and hoe whatever grass or weeds are popping up, and then I'll rake up, like I said, a lot of the roots and debris. You can see the weeds that I've hoed and roots that I've raked up and stuff, and put them in one of these bags and kind of level it out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly level. But so I was getting ready to lay down another row because this area, I'm going to have like an 8-inch space between the rows of ground cover, and that is going to be my cucumber bed. So far I'm going to have pole beans, squash, Lord willing, tomatoes, cucumbers, and then I'm hoping to get in another row of green beans behind the cucumbers, and then okra in the back. It should fit perfectly. But I want to show you my little marigolds, my free volunteer marigolds. Now this right here is what you get those little black needle things stuck to your clothes from. It's called shepherd's needle. And these things will take over. Obviously they self-seed. If you've ever got those pokey black needle seeds stuck to your clothes or on your animals. The scientific name is Biden's alba. They say that it's edible. I'm not interested in eating it, but it's one of my enemies. Have to come over and weed eat and cut this stuff down. I just been doing it one section at a time. So, when I work and I have time, I come out and do a little bit, in between doing other things I have to do. Take my son to basketball, all kind of, domestic responsibilities and stuff like that. So I'm going to clear up this corner and lay ground cover over here. So I have a gate right here. So I'm planning on having a walkway from the gate to my rain barrel. And I want to see what you guys recommend for the rest of the space. It's about 4 feet by maybe 20 feet, something like that, 24 feet. I don't know if it's a full 24 feet. However long this wall is, 20 or 24 feet maybe. I'll have to measure it. So 4 by 20-ish minus the greenery that I got to cut back there. What do you guys think I should plant over there? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any suggestions or recommendations. This area, it's shady in the morning, but the hot afternoon sun in the summer. Alright, so I'm planting my cucumbers. So I just used my hoe to move the dirt to the side to plant the seeds. So I'm putting 3 or 4 seeds in each spot. So I'm starting with this one, which is the White Wonder, and this is the variety of cucumber that is supposed to do especially well in high heat areas. So I'm hoping that when the other cucumbers fizzle out, that this one will keep going. So again, the White Wonder cucumber, have 3 seeds there. And then this is the national pickling cucumber, which put 3 seeds there. And then going on down, I put a few seeds of the lemon cucumber right here. I skipped a spot because I'm going to plant, I'm going to plant the muncher cucumber there. I have this spot here, another spot where I put a few seeds of the lemon cucumber, which turns yellow when it matures. As soon as it gets ripe, it turns yellow. And this is the muncher. This is the slicing cucumber variety that I'm growing this year. So I have a few seeds there, and then I have two more spots. I'm gonna plant another spot with the white wonder cucumber right there, and then probably another one in that spot, and I'm gonna plant the munchers again in that spot. So I'm gonna come over, I'm gonna finish putting the seeds in these other 2 spots, and then I'm gonna come over and dust it with some fertilizer and cover the seeds back up and water them in. We're supposed to get a good amount of rain in the morning, so hoping that'll help speed up the germination on the cucumbers. And just looking at the row where I had planted the squash, it has not started coming up yet, so I'll go ahead and give those another drink of water, and then hopefully, like I said, this rain coming in tomorrow morning will help those germinate. I have grass coming up in a few places, so before I water, I'll pull that grass up, which you can see there. Before I let you go, I want to show you the marigolds that have volunteered from the marigolds that I grew in the ground last year. So this area in front of this panel, this fence panel, was one of my in-ground beds last year where I grew poblanos and marigolds. So they self-seeded. I was so excited yesterday when I realized that I had several volunteer marigolds, and then my camera stopped recording. So this is one, and that's 2, a little guy, 3, 4, good size, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's almost in a perfect spot to be at the end of this row once I plant my Kentucky Wonder Beans, or transplant my Kentucky Wonder Beans over here. And you can see that there are weeds mixed in, but there is another marigold right there. Like I said, those self-seeded and have germinated on their own with 0 effort from me. But I am super excited. So there are quite a few. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So right now I'm counting at least 11, if not more. I'm going to wait until after the rain, let them grow a little bit more, because some of them are little tiny ones. And then I'll be transplanting them to the end of the rows to grow them as companion plants. So thanks for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody who is just getting their garden started and looking for any tips, please feel free to share this video on your social media. And again, yesterday, I showed you guys this area that's like about a 4x20-ish spot that I'm going to be clearing. If you have any ideas for what I should grow over there, like I said, it gets morning shade and hot summer sun in the afternoon, evenings during the summer. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me at Becky's Garden Paradise.